Let's start seated in our chairs. So you want to make sure you have a chair nearby or grab a chair. And then we're going to start in our usual way with sitting at the edge of the chair. Feet are grounded. Feel the body easy. Let's just rock a little from one hip to the other. So I'm just weight shifting to one hip, and then I'm weight shifting to the other hip. And you might notice that as you shift, you're going to feel like the sits bone. It's your bony landmark of your bottom of your pelvis. You might feel that as you rock, a little side to side. And then let's find that place right between both sits bones. So we're kind of even on our seat. And just rest your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes. And take a moment just to bring yourself here in this moment, in this time. By just noticing the texture of the chair, the hardness of the chair, or maybe you're in a soft chair, and just feel that underneath your seat. Let yourself kind of become heavy onto the chair. And then also notice your feet. And can you notice the texture of the rug or the floor under your feet? And could you allow the feet just to kind of sink down a little bit into the floor? And as we allow our body to drop into itself, I want you to also just imagine that there was a cord at the top of the head, and it's just gently drawing you upwards so that you get a little bit longer. And then we're going to place one hand on the low belly, kind of below your belly button, and then one hand on your chest. And before we start to direct the breath, we're going to just feel the body breathe. And so when the body breathes in, there's this rise in the body. You might feel belly rise a little bit. You might notice your chest rises a little bit. And when the body breathes out, there's a softening. The chest softens and the belly will gently soften back. Just see if you can feel your body breathe. And maybe you only feel one part. Maybe it's just the belly, or maybe it's just the chest. Just notice what happens in your body when you breathe. And then we're going to start to exaggerate or direct our breath. And so on your next inhale, you're going to inhale down into your low belly. Let the belly fill up. Let that breath rise all the way up to your upper chest. Feel how it expands, pulling in the air. And then when you exhale, let's exhale out the mouth. And you'll feel how the belly draws back and the chest drops down. Really exaggerate that exhale. And then we go again. So you inhale, fill up low belly, let the breath come all the way up into your chest, inhaling. Exhale out the mouth. Feel how the belly draws back and the chest will drop down. Keep those spines long as you exhale. We're going to do two more. So inhale, belly rise. Inhale all the way up into your upper hand. Feel that stretch that the inhale brings. Open mouth, exhale. Keep your spine long, but exhale out more than you think you can. Exhaling all the way up. Last time. Inhale, belly. Inhale, chest. Holding. Exhale. Keep exhaling, 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 exhaling all the way out. And then just let that go. Open your eyes. Let's blink our eyes a little bit. So we're going to do a little eye work. So let's blink eyes. Blink kind of like as if your eyes were little butterfly wings. Rapid blinking. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then big eyes. Open the eyes wide. Lift your eyebrows. Lift your cheekbones. Huge smile. Let's lift the face. Wake up our face. Lift it up. Can I feel the cheeks lift? The eyebrows lift. And then scrunch your face like you tasted something sour. And then relax the face. Let's do that again. So lift eyebrows, lift cheekbones, huge smile, lift everything up. So our face lift. And then scrunch the face. And then relax the face. Good work. One more time. Lift eyebrows, lift cheekbones. Can I feel my right cheek lift, my left cheek lift? Huge smile. Show me all your teeth. And then scrunch the face. And then relax the face. And then let's take our fingertips. We're going to tap. Tapping the whole entire face. You tap your forehead, tap your cheekbones. Can I feel the bones of my face? Notice where the temples are, the jawline. It's tapping around, discovering maybe there's parts of the face that feel a little tight. Let's take this tapping up and over the head now. So tapping up and over the head all the way to your neck and then around the sides. So tapping the whole skull, get in there. Let's all take our hands to the back of the neck and pause here and just tap a little extra back of the neck. And the elbows can come in a little bit if it's hard to have the elbows out for anyone's shoulders. So you just tap the back of the neck. And then let's, from the back of the neck, we're going to slide down through the throat, back of the neck, down the throat. Back of the neck, down the throat. We're going to work with a little, just waking up our body through touch, skin stimulation. We have sensory, motor sensory in our sensory system. Our skin communicates to our brain, so we're letting our body wake up. And then we're going to go down an arm. Let's go down all the way. And I'm definitely giving some pressure here because we want the brain to know where I'm touching. So I'm not light. I'm pressing in and I'm stroking down. So definitely press in a little bit. Okay, and then let's flip the palm. Let's come up. And I'm pressing a little bit of pressure as I stroke up so that I wake up my arm. And then let's go chest. Rub the chest. This heart here. Let's go to the other side. Okay, then we'll go down this arm. Again, I'm pressing a little bit as if there was like cold water, and I don't have a towel, so I'm trying to get that water off my skin. Yep. And then turn the palm. Let's go up, up, up. Hopefully getting a little warmth even. You get a little warmer as we wake up the body this way. Okay, and then let's go belly. Let's actually go diaphragm first. So just take your fingers and just kind of feel the bottom of your ribs. It's gonna get to those bones. Can I feel my ribs? And then maybe actually let's go up the sternum, and you'll notice if I just kind of go discovery, I'm trying to feel the bones, how they, your ribs here attached to the sternum, which is the middle of the bone. Just see if you can feel those little bony bones. And then go down to the diaphragm, and let's rub here on the diaphragm. So diaphragm sits right underneath the bottom of the ribs here. I'm just going to go side to side here. And then let's go big circles. Big circles from the diaphragm towards that low belly. Go the other way. 4, 5, 6. And then let's take our hands to the back of our low back. And you're just going to rub up and down the low back. Hopefully getting some heat back here. Maybe you'll notice, can you find your spine back there, the lumbar spine? Could you rub up and down the lumbar, the spine of your low back? Okay, and then shake out the hands. Feel like you are shaking water down towards the floor. Down, 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 down. Let me go forward, 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 down, 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 forward. One more round. Down and forward. And then relax the arms. Okay. And then we're going to go a little bit of eye work seated, and then a little bit of balance work seated, and then we'll come to stand, okay? So we're going to take our thumbs, take your thumb in front of the bridge of the nose. And we're going to talk, the eyes help our bodies move. Our bodies basically follow what our eyes do. And so if we want to get extension, which is looking up or extending our spine, we can help that to happen with our eyes, okay? And if we want to round the back or round the spine, that's when the eyes look down. So we're going to work just the eyes to start, okay? So we're going to follow the thumb up, just the thumb, just the eyes, and then you're going to follow the thumb down with the eyes. So head stays steady. So follow the thumb up with the eyes, and follow the thumb back to where you started with the eyes. Good. Tracking the thumb up, follow the thumb with your eyes, and then back down. Pause. Let's go down. So I'm going to move my thumb down. I follow with my eyes, looking up, and then I come back up to center. Follow the thumb down. Head stays still, and coming up. One more. Follow the thumb down, and then come back up and pause. Notice if the eyes got a little tired. Our eyes have muscles. Hi, Todd. So they could get a little tired. But we're going to do one more for our eyes today, okay? We're going to do a big circle. So the head's going to try to, we've been working on these in class. So we're going to let's take our right hand, make an L, thumbs on your sternum, and your index fingers on your chin. That's just going to help you to keep your head steady. Take your right thumb in front of, or your left thumb in front of your nose. Let's go up with our thumb. We're going to follow with our eyes. We're going to trace a big circle around. We're going to come down through center. We're going to pause here, and so we're going to switch hands, okay? So we're going to switch hands. So we're going to come up the other side. We're going to make a big circle up around the other side, finish off that circle, and come back to center. And then pause here, switch. We're going to go back the way we came. So we're going to go back, around, back through center, pause. Let's switch thumbs there, and come up, finish that circle, around, back to center, and pause. Finish those circles. Good job. Nice. All right, good. Rest. If you felt your eyes stretch, or you guys want to finish, go ahead, finish your circles. I'll let you finish. Yeah, good. Feel your eyes stretch and move. That's our goal. So let's go ahead and come to standing. Okay, so come to standing. And we can have our chairs nearby for some balance. We're going to go to our feet. We'll also do a little work for the hands. I'll move the screen so you can see my feet. Okay, so we're going to just work the feet first. So your bodies are long. We're going to step the right foot forward slightly. Okay, and I can hold on if I need. Right foot's forward. I want to keep my legs straight, and I'm going to focus down there on my foot. My ankle is going to roll. My outside ankle is going to roll open, and then I come back and I stand on my foot. My outside ankle rolls open, and then it comes back. You could also think I'm going to stack big toe on top of pinky toe, and then I come back. One more time. Roll, and then come back. Pause here. Take your leg and foot and turn it in. But what wants to happen is my pelvis wants to go too, but I'm going to keep the pelvis facing forward. Just the leg internally rotates. And then you're going to roll the ankle open, come back to center. So you want to feel a stretch here on the outer part of the foot, outer part of the ankle. Open and back. Last one. Open and back. And then let's just step back. Okay? Come back to parallel. Take your other foot forward. Same thing. We're gonna open. Legs stay straight. Let's roll that outer foot open, outer ankle, and back to center. Roll open, back to center. Last two. Roll open, back to center. One more. Roll it open, back to center. Take your leg, internally rotate the leg. Make sure your pelvis stays facing me, and then we'll roll that ankle open, back to center. And roll it open. You might notice one position has a bigger stretch than the other. Just take a note for yourself. Back to center. One more. Roll it open. Back to center and step back. So notice I have a pillow behind me. So I'd love if you have a pillow nearby, a pillow or a blanket. We're going to place it behind you because we're going to do a stretch for the top of our foot. Okay? I think I'll keep my head cut off just for a moment so you can see. So we're standing in front of, I'm putting a couple feet away from my pillow. I'm going to hold on to the chair. So you want to hold on to the chair because it's a little balanced. I'm going to take my right foot, toes tuck under, and I place the top of my foot on top of the pillow. This could be a lot of sensation in the top of the foot, okay, even the toes. Sometimes the foot cramps. Don't worry if that happens. One of the things that happens is I might want to lean forward, so we're going to pull the front of the hips up so you get nice and tall. Get really tall. Back of the foot stretches. We bend both legs a little bit, and then we stretch back up. So back of the foot, we're going to focus on the back of that ankle, back of the front of the ankle, and stretch. Keep your pelvis lifted. We bend, and we stretch. Last one, we bend. Nice, and we stretch. Okay, good. Let's switch sides. Other foot goes back. Toes tuck under. One side could be quite different. So I'm gonna go from the side this time. So the toes are tucked under. You can hold on. I'm gonna make sure I don't tip over. I'm gonna lift the front of my pelvis up. And then I'll do a little bend and a little stretch. Okay, bend. Hopefully feeling the stretch at the top of your foot. and specifically around the top of the ankle, front of the ankle. One more time. And then back to center. Good. Step forward. You can move your blankets or your pillows away. Just kick them out of the way. And then we're going to go to our hands a little bit. So let's flex your hands and spread your hands nice and wide. And we're going to kind of piano key our hands or wave our fingers. We're going to start with the pinky finger. And we're going to start to bring each finger down into a fist. And then the thumb is last. And then we'll start with the thumb. Thumb goes out. And you come back with the hands wide. So pinky fingers, wave in, thumb is last. Thumb, fingers, fingers, thumb, thumb, wave the fingers. Last one. Pinky finger starts, come in, thumb, thumb, and fingers. Stay here, turn the hands towards me, or fingers down to the ground, and then turn back. So for our wrists, turn fingers down, turn fingers up. Turn fingers down. Yep. Turn the fingers up. One more time. Turn fingers down. Turn the fingers up and then flex the hands. So fingers now go down to the ground. We're going to go up with the wrists, down with the wrists. Painting with our wrists. Up and down. So wrists come up. Wrists come down. Yep. One more. Wrists come up. Wrists go down. That's come neutral. We go wrist to the side and the side, side and side. Like we're playing the piano. All the keys, all the way to one end, all the way to the other end. One more time each way, getting our hands woke up. And then back to center, shake it up. All right, good work. Okay, feet a little bit wider. Let's go to the pelvis and the hips. So soft knees, go from the side, body stays tall, and I want to move my pelvis under me. And then my pelvis goes back. So we want to think tailbone curls under, tailbone back. My head stays long, my body stays long. Pelvis comes under, and pelvis goes back. Remember those sits bones we were sitting on? Did I get my sits bones to curl under me, and then my sits bones to tip back? Curl tailbone under. We're isolating movements through our body, right? So we're trying to move the pelvis. It might move well, it might be a little, take a moment, but let's think about sits bones curl under, sits bones curl back. One more time, curl sits bones under, curl sits bones back, and then we're going to curl the sits bones under. You're going to keep it there. Take your hands, interlace them. Pelvis stays curled under. We're going to take your ribs back. Just the ribs go back to the back of the room, and now pull your chest forward and up to the sky. Ribs go back. Ribs come forward. Pull forward. Ribs reach back to the back of the room. Ribs reach forward and up. Sternum softens back to the back of the room. Sternum pulls forward and up. One more time. Ribs, sternum back. Ribs, sternum forward. And then rest. Hold on to the chair. We're going to balance on the left leg, right leg comes forward. When I do this, there's a tendency to sink. So we're going to stand nice and tall on our standing leg. And then the right leg, I'm going to take the right leg, I'm flexing my foot, I'm going to circle it around. It's going to go to the back, and my toes are going to touch the back of my left heel. And then I'm going to come back around, and my heel is going to touch my front toes. We're going to go around with our leg, toes touch the back, around, toes touch the front. Maybe I'd have one finger on the chair, maybe I have no fingers on the chair. And front. Keep your bodies tall. Circle back and around, touch. Circle back and around, touch. One more time. Circle around and touch. Circle around and touch. Stay here. Let's go ahead and just right away transfer onto this foot, and the other leg comes forward, and I'll back up, and now we're on the other leg. So the first thing we do is we just stand tall. This leg is going to work a little bit as we mobilize this leg. Flex your foot, circle around, take the leg back, toes touch, circle around, take the leg forward, heel touches. Different side. Can I keep my body still, my body long, and just move my leg. The leg is straight. Leg is straight. Come around, touch, and around, back. 2 more. Around, touch, breathing, around, back. Last one. Around, touch, and around, back. And then set the foot down, both feet on the ground. We're going to have the feet about parallel. We're going to think of the shoulder, the right shoulder. The right shoulder head's going to come back. And then I'm going to think of my shoulder blade squeezing into my spine. Then I'm going to draw my shoulder down my body. It's going to come forward. It's going to come up. Squeeze the shoulder back. Find your shoulder blade on your spine. Slide it down. Come forward. Come up. Squeeze it back. And down. And then relax. Left shoulder head comes back. Squeeze your shoulder blade onto your back. And then slide down from there. Come forward. Come up. Go back. Slide down. Come forward, come up. One more. Go back and down and relax. Good job. Okay, feet a little wider. Let's take a big stretch. Soften the knees. Right arm reaches to the sky. Pelvis is going to curl under. Palm is going to face forward and I'm reaching up. Let's let the shoulders slide up. So you're going to let your armpit really stretch upwards and then we're going to side bend towards the left. Reach. Reach through your fingers. How much can I reach? Finger away from foot. My feet are grounded. And then I come back up. Other arm, we're going to reach it up. I want you to think of stretching the armpit open. Reach up. And then we're going to side bend away. Reach through your fingertips. Wide hand, reach. And then come back up. Again, we reach up. Let your shoulder lift up. Pelvis is slightly under you. We're going to reach away. Reach through the fingertips. Stretch away. We're going to add something here. I'm going to roll my armpit now towards the floor. And I'm going to roll back to me. Yes. And then we come up. This time my arm's going to go behind me. Can I reach back behind? And I'm going to lean over. My arm's going to pull me over. And I'm reaching back behind me to my opposite foot. And then I come back up. Woo! Take the other arm, reach it up. Elevate your shoulder, stretch away, up, up, up. Let's go side bend. Over we go. We're reaching. Then I'm going to roll my armpit to the floor. Look at the floor, see it? I'm going to roll back to my side stretch. Yes, I'm going to come all the way up and my arm's going to keep taking me over and it's going to reach behind me and down to that opposite heel. Reach for it. And then I come back up. Both arms up, stretch up. Both arms down, let's bend the knees. Can we touch the ground? Come up, stretch up, reach up. When I come down, I'm going to bend the knees. My pelvis, my hips go down and back. And then I come back up. Now move slow. You don't have to, maybe I don't touch the floor, but that's my goal. I'm going to look to see if I do. And then I come up, press with the legs. Now when I come down, the pelvis lowers back and down. When I come up, I push through the legs, I stand up as tall as can be, and I reach to the sky. Beautiful. When I go down, pelvis goes back and down. When I come up, I press through the legs and I reach up. Okay, 2 more. When I go down, pelvis goes back and down, bend the knees. When I come up, push, stretch up tall. Last one, coming down, lower pelvis, bend the knees, and then come back up. Woo! All right, good. Shake it out a little bit. And then we're going to go to one more thing here, standing. We're going to bring our legs all the way together. So you want to have your chair. This is going to be a little bit of balance work. So you have the chair there if you need it. Okay, so my feet are touching, inner thighs touching. I want to feel like I'm zipping up the center line of my body. And then my arms, sometimes the arms hold tension to kind of, to do the work of the center. So can we relax our arms? And can we drop our attention or our weight down onto the feet? And right away when I do that, there's a little bit of adjusting the body is doing. Okay, so I feel that. Feel how the body adjusts. And then we're going to see if we could still the body. So can I actively tell my body, okay, be still, but I'm going to move my head. Move your head, look to the right, look to the left. Go slow. Look to the right, just the head. Look to the left. Look to the right. Look to the left. One more time. Eyes open, look, and look. Come back to center. If that was super challenging, maybe you keep your eyes open, or we're going to try with eyes closed. So you're going to close your eyes. Again, you have the chair there if you need it. And just first feel what happens when we take vision away. Does the body sway a lot more? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it relaxes a little more. You'll find out what happens. And then again, can we zip through the midline of the body? And then just the head. Let's go slow. Move the head one way. And hold on to your chair if you feel like you need to. And then the other way. And turn. You can always open the eyes. This is tough. And turn. Couple more. Turn. And turn. One more. Turn. And turn. And then come back to center. And open the eyes. Awesome. Good work. Okay. We're going to go down to the floor. So you may, I have a lot of cushioning down here, but you may want to bring your blanket. We're going to go to all fours. I'm going to move your chair. You might need it to help you get down. So just whatever you need to help you, and then maybe move your chair out of the way. Okay. And then we're going to come to hands and knees. So hands are going to be under the shoulders, and your knees are under the hips. And we're just going to do some cat-cows here, okay? So we're going to mobilize our whole spine. We separated it when we were standing. Now we're going to see if we can move fluidly through the spine. So we're going to begin with the pelvis. Can you curl, just like we were working on, curl pelvis under you. Roll through the spine all the way till those ribs reach up and back, up to the sky, and then drop the head. Then press with your hands, press with those shins. And then to unroll, we're going to let the sits bones lift up and back. We roll through the spine, and then think of using your hands here and pull your heart forward. So shoulders go down the back, and you go into extension, right? And then we're going to exhale pelvis. Let's roll through the spine. Big exhale here. Push the floor away, drop your heads, push with your shins. Feel the ribs lifting up. And then inhale, tailbone lifts up and back. We roll through the spine the other way, and we get to use the hands to pull the floor towards us so that we can open the heart a little more. And then exhale, round, curl tailbone. Push the ground away, roll through the spine. Big exhale, drop those heads at the bottom. And then inhale, tailbone lifts up and back. Roll through the spine, lift the heart forward and through. Last time, we exhale, curl, round, roll through the spine. Feel how the pelvis moves under you. Feel how the ribs reach to the sky. Drop the head to the floor. Push the ground away. And then inhale, unroll. Sits bones lift up and back. Pull the heart forward. Use your arms to pull yourself through. And then find a neutral spot. Let's come down to forearms. Take a little break on those wrists. Yep, beautiful. And then scoot your knees a little closer together. So I'm on my forearms. My spine is easy and long. I'm going to have my chin tucked a little bit towards my chest. And then we're going to keep the pelvis squared to the floor. So we're not going to let our pelvis move. The pelvis is nice and squared. We're just going to slide the right leg out. And we're going to lift the right leg up. And how far can I reach my leg away from me? Now I'm not tipping the pelvis or turning the pelvis. My pelvis stays neutral. I'm just reaching my leg long and away. And then I'm going to lower, touch the toes to the floor. And I'm going to lift the leg back up. I'm going to lower down. And I want to feel that the glute, the low glute and hamstring here are going to work a little bit. That's the back of the leg. I lower and I lift. And really reach the leg away from you. We're going to do 3 more. Reach the leg away. Reach through the toes. How long could you reach? Last 2. Reaching away as you lift. Lower down. Reaching away as you lift. And then lower down. Slide the leg in. Sit back, a little child's pose. Just take a rest for a moment. Reaching your hands forward as you take your little rest. And then let's come back to forearms, and we'll go to the other side. So knees are going to be close together. On my forearms, chin is slightly tucked. We're going to make sure the pelvis stays squared to the floor. And then I'm going to slide my other leg long. And I'm going to reach it away from me, and then I lift it up. So how long could I get that leg? Stretch through your toes. And then from there, keep the length, but lower the leg down. And lift the leg up. Lengthen to lower. Lengthen to lift. From your leg itself, lengthen to lower. Lengthen to lift. Lengthen to lower. And lift. Feel the back of the glute and hamstring, the back of the leg. Work here. Let's do 2 more. Keep reaching the leg away as you lift. Reach it away as it lowers. Last one. Reach it away as it lifts. Reach it away as it lowers, and then slide the leg in. Widen the knees. Sit back, child's pose. Walk the hands forward. Lower your forehead a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and bring ourselves up. We're going to go to a sideline position. So let's lay on the left sides. And your bottom arm, you can always grab your blanket, stick it under your head. Sometimes that's really nice. You could also take your arm, and if your shoulder's okay with it, it could be long or it can be tucked. But for shoulder people, sometimes having the cushion there helps, okay? So you don't have a lot of pressure. Now, I'm going to make sure that my side waistline's lifted a little bit, and then my top leg is going to reach away from me. Same idea we were just doing. We're lengthening, right? Pilates is all about lengthening. My ribs are a little bit lifted. Reach through that top heel. It's parallel. So right now my leg is parallel, and I'm going to take my leg behind me. Any amount, I keep the length, and I keep parallel. And just reach a little more and just take a breath. And then we're going to lower the leg down. Inseam of the foot touches the floor maybe, and we lower back up, or we lift up. We lower the leg down, and we lift it up. Then we lower. Keep the leg long, and we lift. So we're working the hip. We lower, and we lift. Let's do 3 more. We lower. We might be a little sore in our glutes tomorrow, our hips. That's good. Lower and lift. Last 2. Lower and lift. 1 more. Lower and lift. And then kind of feel the leg, bring the leg so it's level to the hip. And then we're going to swing the leg forward. And we're going to swing the leg back. When you swing the leg forward, feel your sits bone go behind you. When you swing the leg back, feel how the pelvis comes forward. So when I come forward with the leg, my sits bone goes back. When my leg goes back, the front of my hip comes forward. And come forward with the leg and back. And then just let it swing. Forget about the move, forget about all the details, and let your leg just kind of have some freedom. See if you can swing a little bit that hip. 2 more to swing the leg. Beautiful. And then find neutral. And let's stack the legs back on top of each other in your clamshell position. Your top arm, we're going to work a little bit of coordination of the same side coordination. So my top arm is going to make an L shape that's going to face the floor. Now I want to move my leg and my arm at exactly the same time. Remember, we're still keeping a little bit of a waistline lift if we can. So my arm and leg, the same timing, are going to lift up. And well, it is glute work too. We're just going to do 5. And then can I lower my arm and leg down? 1. Can we lift up at the same time? You might notice that the arm or the leg is slower or faster. Oftentimes my arm is a little slow, so I might speed up my arm to go with my leg, or I might decide to slow down my leg. You get to make the choice. Woo! That glute's working too. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. Yep. And down you go. All the way down. Okay, from here, your top hand's on the ground. Just push yourself up. And as I push myself up, use your arms. I'm going to go to what's called a little Z-sit. See if we can do a little Z-sit. If that's uncomfortable, I could also just kind of stack like this, okay? See if you can find this little Z-sit. See how we did. I think we all kind of got it. And then we're going to take, let's take our arm up to the sky in that same reach we were doing. Can I lift my armpit up? And then I'm going to side bend. I'm going to go over all the way to my forearm. And I'm reaching, very similar to what we did when we were standing. And then from here, I'm going to roll my armpit and chest to the floor, rotation. And then I'm going to come back to the side. Face me. Yeah, beautiful. Let's do that again. So roll the ribs to the floor. And then roll the ribs back to face me. That's it. Roll your ribs to the floor. Reach out those fingertips. And then come back to me. Let's do one more. Roll the ribs to the floor. Reach through your fingertips. Hopefully we're getting a stretch through the ribs, through the shoulder here. Come back to face me. And we're going to use the bottom hand to push, and we're up. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go all the way to the other side, sliding till side line on the other side. If you want your pillow under your head, you can have that, okay? So bring that with you. Perfect. What do we want to feel first? Make sure we're comfy. Our head is in alignment with our pelvis. And then the waistline is kind of, we try to lift our waistline a little bit off the floor. May not be very far, but we try to lift that up. Top leg is going to stretch away from us. And I want to really, again, feel that I'm reaching through the heel, okay? And then I'm going to start to take my leg slightly behind me. So we want to keep the leg behind us. Stretch it away. If we're going to stay parallel, could I lower the inseam of my foot down? And could I bring it back up? You could also think the big toe lowers to the floor and then comes back up. Lower big toe, lift the heel, just a different cue. We lower down, we lift up. Can I keep the leg behind me? Couple more. Lengthening away as you lower and lift, hopefully getting some work on these lateral muscles of the hip. Breathing. Let's do one more. Reach and lift. Lift it up, stretch it away, and now we're going to bring the leg forward. And as the leg comes forward, my sits bone, my pelvis goes back. And then as the leg goes back, the front of my pelvis comes forward. So leg comes forward, sits bone goes back. You might get a hamstring stretch. A leg goes behind you, pelvis lifts forward. And let's just go ahead a few more slow like that. Noticing the movement of the leg and the pelvis. Right? They're doing opposite motions. One more slow. Leg comes forward, sits bone goes back. Leg goes back, front of the pelvis lifts up. And then swing it out. Just forget about those details and let your leg just move forward and back. Can I actually create a little swing in my hip? Maybe small. Let's see if you can get a little swing action. Again, you're going to feel that hip work. Just a little swing. One more time. And then bring the leg, stack it on top of your other leg. Whew. All right, let's take our top arm. It's an L shape. I'm still lifting my waistline up, at least I'm trying. My shoulder is sliding down my back, even though my arm is here, right? So I'm not, shoulder's not up to my ear. From here, can we move at the same time? Could I lift my arm and leg at the same time? Could I lower at the same time? Make sure you breathe, lift, and lower. And lift. There it is. Try not to roll the whole body. Could I just lift my arm and my leg? Yeah, good. Good work. Good work. On just my arm and my leg. Yes. Last one. Lift arm and leg. And then lower down. Hand on the ground. I'm going to use my hand. I'm going to push and I'll slide myself up. And I'm in a little Z-sit. If that's uncomfortable, right, I could always slide a blanket under that back hip, or I could just kind of stack here. I'm going to reach the arm up. Up you go, reach up. Hand is active. I'm lifting my whole side body up. My ribs lift up. And we're going to side bend over. Come down to your forearm and reach, stretch. I'm going to push. On this side, let's think of pushing the ground away with your forearm that's on the floor. So I'm pushing and reaching. And then we're going to roll the chest to the floor. We're still pushing that forearm. And then we come back, face me. Push the ground away and roll. Come back towards me and roll. Come back towards me. Stay here. Use that bottom hand. Push. Coming up. Beautiful. Let's go to a little bit of extension work today, and then we'll stretch out our hips. But let's go ahead and lay on our belly, a little more extension work. So we've been working on, that's our back body, extensors. We're going to do it laying on the bellies. So let's stack both hands under your forehead first, and just lengthen yourself onto the ground. So feel the belly arrive, feel your legs, feel the chest kind of wide, and then let's just leave the left hand under the forehead, and you're going to take your right hand and you're going to just slide it under the right hip, okay? So right under the right hip, your hand's just going to be there so we can notice what's happening here. So we want to keep the right hip in our hand, and we're going to lengthen that right leg back and lift it up. And the front of the hip rolls and presses into our hand. And then we're going to lower the leg down. So keep the front of the hip pressing into your hand as the leg lifts up. And then lower down. Make front of the hip into your hand. Reach and lift the leg up. It doesn't have to be high because we want to keep the hip on the ground here. Your hip stays into your hand as the leg lifts. And it may be small at first. Let's just do 2 more. See if you can keep the front of your hip pressing into your hand as the leg goes up. 1 more time. Front of that hip bone rolls and presses into your hand. Leg lifts up. And then down you go. Let's change sides. So take your right hand under your forehead and the left hand under the front of your hip here. Okay? You might feel that bony landmark. And then from here, the front of your left hip is going to press into your hand as the leg lifts up. Notice if it's different than the other side. And then lower back down. Front of the pelvis, front of the hip presses into don't let it lift up. Keep it on the ground as your leg lifts up. And then down. Front of that hip presses into your hand. Leg lifts. And down. Let's do 2 more. Lift. Front of the hip stays into your hand and down. 1 more. And then down. Let the legs stay down. Bring both hands under the forehead. Both hips are going to stay pressing into the floor, and you're going to float hands and head just off the ground just a little bit. You're just hovering. Hands and head, hands and arms and head. Just hover off the ground and then lower down. So lift arms and head off the ground and lower down. And lift again and lower down. 1 more time, lift and then lower down. Bring your hands by your sides. Press yourself back, child's pose. Crawl your hands forward, stretch out your back. Take a breath or 2 here. Let's roll ourselves up. And we're going to come to lay on our backs on the floor. Let's check. Okay, perfect. So let's lay onto our backs on the floor. Finally on our backs. Okay, so knees are bent. Feet are going to be about hip-width distance apart. Arms are just going to be, let's bring them kind of by this, like a V, a low V by the sides. Feet are going to be wide. You're going to take the legs, let them roll over towards the right. The legs roll to the right, my feet roll, my left hip's going to come. I'm just letting the legs roll into a twist. My upper body, however, stays facing the ceiling. And then I'm going to roll my legs back through center, and I'm going to let them roll to the left. Your hip's going to go with you. Let your right hip go with you. The chest stays facing the ceiling. Come back through center, inhale, and exhale, legs roll to the right. Inhale, come back through center. Feel your feet on the ground. And then exhale, let the legs roll, the feet roll, the pelvis roll. Inhale back to center. And exhale again to the right. Inhale one more time to the left. Back through center. Exhale, roll the legs to the left. Come back to neutral. Bring the feet so they're back on the ground. Let's slide our hands under the base of the head. So interlace your hands and support your head. Elbows are going to lift a little bit off the ground. And let's go ahead and take the pelvis. Can you curl your pelvis under you so the back is going to be flush to the floor? Take an inhale here. On your exhale, lift your head and shoulders away from the ground and look towards your knees. Now just be aware here that I'm supporting my head. My hands are holding my head. Elbows can be in a little bit. And I want to put my focus on my belly. So take an inhale here. When you exhale, give me a long exhale. And you're staying in your head flow. Exhaling, pulling the belly towards your spine. And then you're going to take another inhale. Inhale into your ribs, the sides of the ribs. When you exhale, exhale all the way out, pulling the belly down and up toward the ribs. One more time. Inhale into ribs, sides of the ribs. When you exhale, exhale out the mouth, pull the belly down and in towards the spine. And then roll yourself down. Go ahead, hug one knee into your chest and then the other knee into your chest and rock your spine a little side to side, rolling out your low back on the mat. So it's that same breath we started with, okay? Neck can be easy. We're going to try it one more time. Come back to center, right leg down, left leg down, interlace your hands, place them behind the base of the head to support your head. Elbows are lifted. Curl the pelvis under you. Take an inhale. Exhale, it's the ribs that slide towards the hips and down into the floor to bring you up. Make sure the head is easy. Shoulders are down into the ribs. Now here, find your breath. So inhale into the sides of your ribs. When you exhale, let's exhale out the mouth on purpose. Pull the belly down and feel how the belly could scoop up towards your ribs. Inhale, breathe into the ribs. Exhale, scoop. One more. Inhale. Exhale, scoop. And then down you go. Release the head, grab one leg and then the other. Rock your low back onto the floor. Like the floor was your personal masseuse and it's massaging your low back. That was hard work. Hopefully you got into your abs and out of those necks, okay? And then go ahead and just roll to one side and then you'll press yourself up. And we are done for today. Thank you. Let me know how that went. I know I pushed you guys a little hard today, but hopefully that felt okay. We'll be back at 1 o'clock for meditation.